Hi, this is Duckman from 2Decks.com. I'm going to run you through a short tutorial of mixing one track into another. First we need to load tracks into both decks. Then we need to drag the zoom area. Then we'll set our cue points, press record, and then save our mix. Alright, now I have a track by Dr. 42, Complicated Question at 125 BPM. It's loaded up here. I'm going to select another track because you need two tracks for two decks. And I'm going to pick PD Brisket's So Naughty. If you want to listen to a preview of any of these, all you have to do is mouse over the play and you'll get an audio sample. So I'm going to just grab this and drag it over to track 2 and it'll start loading. Alright, the next step is we've got to figure out what area we want to mix from this track to this track. So to do that, we're going to left click and drag the area that we want to see in more depth, and it'll show up in the zoom area down here. I'm going to do that on both decks. From that point in time, you've got to figure out how you want to make both this happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and set a cue point. That's where this one's going to start, and I'll set a cue point on the second deck. So once the cue points are set, open up the crossfader so that you can hear both songs at the same time. This is the central cue button that will cue both decks at the same time. These are for each deck individually. So I'm going to cue both decks at the same time to the cue point, and I want to line these up. You have nudges that will move the waveform, big nudge and little nudge, and be right on time. I'll hit the play for both tracks. And you see the automation records as different colors at the top. So it's a little bit off. You can see the waveforms are a little bit off, so let's nudge it just a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to pull the crossfader back over to this track because I'm mixing from this track to this track. So I'm doing a mix out from this track and a mix in from this track. So when I hit record, we're armed. So you hit play and it's going to start. So any movement that you take will actually go into the program and it will record all the automation up here. So I'm going to hit play and we're going to mix these songs.
Everybody kind of understand the premise of this question. This is a complicated question. Everybody kind of understand the premise of this question. This is a complicated question.
Alright, now I can pause it, go back to the cue point, and when I hit play, the automation will take. So you'll see the crossfader come across as I pull it. At any point in time you can hit pause and go back to the original cue point and it will just record the automation as it was set last. So I'm going to pause it, go back to the cue point, hit play again and do a little bit of the cueing. Here we have the volume, the highs, the mids, the lows, speed nudge, whatever you would need on a standard DJ setup. So I'm going to hit play and the crossfader is automatically going to do what I have set for it. So I hit play and I'm going to pull the lows down. Now I'm going to pull the highs. And if you notice up in the waveform that the automation's being drawn on the waveform so you can see what you've done. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to pause it. Now, since it started right at the end of the song, you kind of want to see how it sounds in context. So we have a preview button here. The thing about the preview button is if you decide to save your mix, the preview button won't be available to you. So you want to preview it before you save it. Let's hear it in context.
Everybody kind of understand the premise of this question. This is a complicated question. Everybody kind of understand the premise of this question. This is a complicated question.
So that transition worked really well. I think that sounds great. So I'm going to pause it I always cue it back up, but this is just a personal preference, and I really like this. So, like I said, if you want to hear it again, please hit preview again before you save. So I'm going to click save, and it's going to give you a dialog asking, are you sure you want to save it? So when you click OK, that transition goes live. So if anybody's listening to the player, your username will show up as the DJ who mixed in between these two tracks. It happens almost instantaneously, very, very little delay, so it's going to be available immediately. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you real soon.